You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Keep going for it, because we need it. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh my god. Oh, I tell you what, it's fucking cold. Where's that hoodie?
Black breeze.
Oh yeah, just like anytime you're in shadow, it's freezing, and then if you're in the sun, it's too fucking hot. All right, let me just roll this bitch forward. This is my expedition truck, which is 6 tons of 4-wheel drive Isuzu, which is pretty cool, and a custom camper built on the back by this company, SLR, based on the Gold Coast. I bought it secondhand, so it had already been roughed up a little bit, which is good because the value went down a bit, and I like to destroy my vehicles. I don't have much mechanical sympathy. And I installed a steak searer, because every good truck needs a barbecue, and this is how I like to barbecue. So it's got LPG, there's a stove inside as well.
Why do you prefer barbecue with this?
So I prefer to cook, and this is, by the way, this is how you switch the gas on for the barbecue. So we just use this this nice block here, hold it down, just stand back a little bit. I'm sure all this is fully compliant with gas laws. So steak searing is a little bit better than just cooking on like a pan or on a barbecue, because this gets really, really hot. So basically it's got a ceramic tile in there, and the ceramic tile gets up to about 600 degrees Celsius, and that basically superheats the outside of your meat. So, I mean, typically you're gonna use it for steaks. You can use it for like little mini roasts and that kind of thing as well. So a little lamb roast is nice. Anything you want like a really solid crust on the outside, and then you want the inside to eventually kind of slowly warm up. So the best way to cook with this is you let this get really, really hot. It's a similar effect to cooking with something like cast iron, which a lot of chefs do. You know, they get a cast iron pan really, really hot. That's really nice for searing steak as well. But this is the best because we're on a cast iron pan. It takes you about 3 or 4 minutes to get that sear on the outside. This is like 1 minute and 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds on each side, and then it's done. So very, very easy. Obviously you let the steak rest for a bit after that, but yeah, very easy to get done. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just let that get nice and hot, and then we'll be ready for cooking. Here's some that we prepared earlier. So these bad boys are rib eyes, or rib fillets, I think they call them in the US. In Australia, we also call them Scotch fillets. Yeah, you basically get nice big bits of fat, and they usually have quite a bit of fat through them as well. I prefer grass-fed. Some people like Wagyu and grain-fed stuff to get more of the kind of like fat bits in the meat, but I prefer happy cows who are out just enjoying grass on the land. These have been sitting salted for a little while. Usually I salt them for about an hour, and really important to leave them out for an hour so they get up to room temperature, because if the steak is still cold, when you sear the outside, the inside is still actually going to be too rare. So when it's room temperature, you can sear the outside nicely, and if you let it rest for a few minutes after you've cooked it, which is important to let the fibers kind of break down a little bit more, what that actually does is that helps you to basically allow the steak to cook just that little bit more into the inside, and you get a perfect medium rare every time. Okay, cool. So we're going to chuck a little bit of butter in there and into the little meat sauna. Let's check how steak number 1 is going. That's looking beautiful. So we find the grain of the steak, which this one looks to be kind of a bit circular. You're meant to kind of go across the grain, but anyway, let's get that little cut and see how that's come out. Beautiful. Now that's cooked fairly nicely, and see how it kind of like comes apart and it's kind of like stringy. That's exactly what you want from a ribeye. Let's try a little bit more here. Beautiful. That's maybe a touch overdone, not quite medium rare, but that's still going to be pretty damn yummy to eat. And notice as I'm cutting it, it comes apart nicely here because the grain is going across from where my cuts are. So to finish it off, a little bit of, it's called finishing salt. This is what the chefs use. Basically you just want sea salt flakes. That's going to make it extra yummy. And if you want to be really fucking fancy, tiny little bit of honey. There we go. All right, let's give Ian our first taste test.
I feel privileged.
Ah, that's pretty good.
That's baller. I haven't had it with the honey before. What do you reckon, Ollie?
That's pretty fucking good. Especially these bits here, just like fall apart. Yeah. Oh my god.